I'm sorry for the unpleasant experience today. My brother apologized on behalf of his fiancée. She looks down on me for not having a college degree. Of course, it bothers me, but I didn't want to dislike someone who's going to be family. I thought that with time, we might come to understand each other. But that day never came. My name is Emily. I'm 34. I live with my dad and mom. I run a bakery. We don't have many locations yet, but we are in a transit center. Business is picking up, so life is busy. One day, my brother, 2 years my senior, suddenly announced his engagement. I was surprised. I never heard of him dating anyone. I was excited to meet her. My brother is kind-hearted and rarely gets angry. I assumed she must be a kind person too. But when she came to our family meeting, she was nothing like I'd imagined. "Wow, this house is huge. What's it worth?" Olivia, my brother's fiancée, asked upon meeting us. I was shocked that she'd ask about the house's value right away. Our family home is spacious and newly renovated. "I'd love to live here after the wedding. I can brag to my friends." My parents seemed pleased, but I was taken aback. "I don't know about living together," I started to say, but my mom cut me off. "Let's discuss that later. How did you and John meet, Olivia?" Mom is smiling and asking Olivia a question. "We met at a bakery. I fell in love at first sight. He usually works at the headquarters, so I got his contact info right away." Then Olivia and Dad and Mom had a great time talking. The conversation flowed, but I couldn't stand her tone. "Which university did you graduate from, Emily?" she asked me out of the blue. Olivia boasted about her time studying abroad during college. Now she works at a tourist spot, catering to international visitors. When asked about my education, I answered honestly. I never went to college. I wanted to start working as soon as possible. Before I could finish, Olivia interrupted loudly. "What? You dropped out?" She covered her mouth and exaggerated her reaction. "Emily is hardworking. I look up to her. Even now, she's the reason." My brother tried to defend me, but Olivia cut him off again. "Didn't you have trouble finding a job because you dropped out?" Annoyed by Olivia's condescending tone, I snapped. "I did have a period of unstable employment." Olivia burst into laughter. "So, are you still on a temp worker? Because you dropped out, right?" My brother sternly warned her. "Don't mock my sister. What matters is who you are, not your education." I was glad my brother stood up for me, but Olivia seemed to sulk after being scolded. She avoided eye contact with me after that. As we were about to say our goodbyes, I bumped into Olivia returning from the restroom. Feeling awkward, I tried to pass quickly when I heard her sigh dramatically. "People like you who drop out are just in the way. Please leave our nice home." Her voice, once sugary sweet, had turned cold. Stunned by her transformation, I was at a loss for words. Olivia continued. "You have no education. You are 34, single, and still living with your parents. Don't come to the wedding. It could be embarrassing," saying so insultingly. Her words were so shocking that I was left speechless. I wondered if I should tell my parents and brother about Olivia's harsh words. But my parents were overjoyed to have a lovely daughter-in-law. Even if I told them now, they might not believe me. They might think I'm lying because I'm bitter about being mocked for my lack of education. After all, They were strongly against my decision not to go to college. I've always been considered the odd one out and struggled with group settings. The idea of being commanded by teachers to do the same things as everyone else was unbearable. During career counseling, both my parents and teachers told me no one would hire a dropout. When no one hires me, I'll start my own company, I declared, leaving my parents speechless. My brother was the only one who supported me, despite our parents' strong objections. I think it suits your personality not to work for someone else. Just don't rely on mom and dad for startup money, and make sure to study business management, he advised, helping me convince our parents. After finishing middle school, I took various temp jobs, from retail to manufacturing, saving up for my business. On my days off, I'd hit the library to study business management on my own. After years of this lifestyle, I had a fateful encounter at a bakery where I was temping. It happened to be a non-regular employment at a bakery that happened to enter. When I told the owner about my business aspirations, he took me seriously and taught me the ropes. I studied bread making diligently. By my mid-20s, I had saved enough to open a small bakery. I found joy in running the business and noticed that customer preferences varied by location and time of day. Sandwiches sold well near transit centers in the morning, while loaves and kid-friendly bread were popular in residential areas. Analyzing customer trends and succeeding in business was rewarding. In this way, I started planning one after another, and now I am the president of several stores. Now, I run multiple stores, and biggest supporter has always been my brother. He even quit his sales job at a food company to join my business. It's promising with a hardworking entrepreneur like Emily, he said. It wasn't just because we're family, he genuinely believed in my potential. Thanks to his efforts, like pitching to commercial facilities, both the number of stores and employees have increased. I can't thank him enough, and genuinely want him to be happy. Olivia may be hostile towards me, but she's normal with my brother and parents. Just because she mocks my education doesn't mean she's a bad person. I thought that with time, her views might change. I decided to think positively about my relationship with Olivia. So, I decided to keep quiet about her harsh words for now. As I was contemplating this, my brother called. I'm sorry for what happened today. I'll tell Olivia that you're the CEO of our company. That should change her attitude, he said. I asked him to keep it a secret, fearing it might make her uncomfortable. He agreed to stay quiet for a while. I wanted to face Olivia without the baggage of education or status. If my brother loves her, we'll understand each other someday. But I later realized that was an illusion. They registered their marriage and started preparing for the wedding. Occasionally, my brother would bring Olivia to meet our parents. I greeted her warmly, despite feeling tense. She'd smile in front of my brother and parents, but when we were alone, she'd hurl insults. Why don't you get married? You can't even do that. This mansion will be mine. You're in the way, so leave, she'd whisper, so no one else could hear. Still, I refrained from arguing, hoping to understand the woman my brother loved. But Olivia's harsh words had left me feeling down before I knew it. Even at work, I find myself sighing heavily when I think about her visit. I should be excited about the upcoming wedding this weekend, but I can't be. I hate myself for it. I can't tell my brother, who's already married on paper, to call off the wedding now. The one who noticed my troubled state and reached out was a female coworker. She usually works at the store, but she was at the headquarters today for some reason. Do you know the rumors about your brother, the boss? It's been the talk among the employees. When she mentioned rumors, I had no idea what she was talking about. My brother has a good reputation for being serious, both inside and outside the company. Could he be disliked at the store? Your brother's reputation is great, but his fiancée… I was shocked to hear the content of the rumor. Wait, is that rumor true? I couldn't help but ask. I don't know if it's true, but everyone's talking about it. So I made a call to find out the truth. And then the weekend came, and my brother and Olivia's wedding took place. I was told not to come, but of course I'm his sister, I have to be there. Olivia, who was all smiles, seemed to be in a great mood. Seeing my brother smile in ignorance, my heart aches. I was boiling with anger, remembering the rumor I heard the other day. I wonder how long you can keep smiling, I muttered, looking at Olivia's smiling face. The reception is over, so I head to the bride and groom's waiting room. When I knock on the door, Olivia's voice answers from inside. Entering the room, my brother is nowhere to be found. Olivia, seeing me, clearly shows her disdain. What are you doing here? The bride, who was cheerful just moments ago, now has a frown. I say nothing and move closer. What are you doing? Don't come near me, you loser. If he stays married to someone like you, my brother will never be happy. Why don't you just leave? Olivia is furious at my words. What? Why should I divorce? You're the one who's dependent on our parents. A dropout single woman should leave the mansion. Olivia loudly berates me and talks about cutting ties. I give a small laugh and look into Olivia's eyes. You are having an affair with another man, yet you act so high and mighty. At my words, Olivia's face stiffens for a moment. But she still maintains her defiant attitude. I don't know what you're talking about. Get out. Olivia tries to forcibly remove me from the room. Just then, my brother bursts in, his face red, and shouts, "The one who should leave is you!" Both Olivia and I are stunned by my usually mild-mannered brother's yelling. I heard everything from outside. What's this about an affair? And how dare you talk to my sister like that? Olivia, unaware that my brother had been listening, looked pale as a ghost. It's not what you think. Tears filled her eyes as she desperately tried to explain. My brother's face remained stern. I pulled out some documents and photos and laid them on the table. The pictures showed Olivia hugging a man who was not my brother out in public. My brother looked at the photos, speechless. He probably never suspected his wife was cheating on him. He's just a close friend. She tried to make an excuse, but it was clearly unbelievable. I hired a private investigator. Seems like you meet his close friend quite often, even inviting him to your home late at night. My brother and Olivia haven't moved in together yet. Taking advantage of that, it seems Olivia had been inviting the man to her home. What's going on? Explain yourself. My brother pressed her, but Olivia, realizing she had no more excuses, remained silent. Fed up with her attitude, my brother said, "I never thought you'd be like this. Let's get a divorce." Olivia, being told to divorce right after the wedding, started to freak out. "How can we divorce now? What will I tell everyone?" "Just say you were caught cheating and had to divorce. I'll hand all the evidence to my brother, so make sure to pay the alimony in the divorce trial." Olivia, trembling with rage, yelled at me. "There's no way someone like you could afford a private investigator. You've been stalking me, haven't you? If I had that much free time, I'd rather be working. You see, I'm the CEO of the company where your husband, my brother, works. I finally revealed my true identity. That's a lie. You're just a part-time worker living off your parents. No, that's your misconception. I wanted to face you without any preconceptions about educational background or status. I thought maybe we could understand each other someday, since you're the woman my brother loves. That's why I asked my brother not to tell you that I'm the CEO. Olivia looked incredulous and turned to my brother, who nodded. So, you're saying you're the one paying John's salary? You're the one who built this mansion? Olivia's eyes widened, her mouth opening and closing in disbelief. An employee tipped me off. There were rumors about my brother's fiancée walking around looking cozy with an unknown man. No one wanted to tell my brother directly, so he never noticed. I don't mind spending money on a private investigator if it helps my brother see the truth. Olivia seemed overwhelmed by the flood of information. I decided to leave the rest to my brother. I had hopes that we could understand each other someday. But what a waste of time. As a wife, shouldn't you at least remember the name of your husband's company's CEO? Not that it matters now that you're getting a divorce. I left the room with a scornful remark. A few days later, my brother, who had decided to divorce, reported it to Dad and Mom. They questioned him, asking why. He told them about Olivia's problematic behavior and her affair, but Dad and Mom were slow to believe him. Dad and Mom only knew the act that Olivia had been putting on. However, a few days later, an event occurred that made them believe my brother. Late at night, the doorbell rang. When we opened the door at such an hour, it was Olivia standing there. "It's your fault John left me," she yelled, lunging at me. Dad quickly restrained Olivia, but her verbal abuse towards me didn't stop. "What CEO? You have no education and no man in your life. You're pathetic." Dad and Mom were stunned by Olivia's true colors. Now they must have a clear understanding of her real character. Mom called Olivia's parents and asked them to come pick her up. When she told them about the verbal abuse and the affair, Olivia's parents, who knew nothing about it, deeply apologized. Olivia was also forced to apologize deeply and broke down crying in frustration. "Please never show your face here again," I said, and she was dragged away by her parents. My brother filed for divorce, using the evidence of the affair I had gathered, and claimed alimony. Not only from Olivia, but also from the man she was involved with. He managed to secure about $30,000 in total. He gave me a portion of the alimony, saying it was for the trouble I'd gone through and the money spent on the private investigator. Rumors spread that Olivia was caught cheating and got divorced, and it seems she is now receiving cold stares from her friends. I heard from a gossip-loving employee that Olivia has become a recluse since losing her friends. My brother was feeling down, saying he's had enough of women. But I'm sure my sincere and kind brother will meet someone good someday. Wishing for my brother's happiness, I continue to work hard to grow the company.